Hello friends! Well, a couple of different things. One, okay, I'm still wearing a green t-shirt, but it's completely unbranded. No marks at all on that. Got basically got caught out, needed a new t-shirt while I was at work, and it's cheap anyway. So hope we're all well. The other new thing, of course, is hair's a lot shorter than normal. It happens, doesn't it? So yes. So I thought I haven't actually done a bit of a channel and me update for a while, and the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed I say a change, it's a revert, isn't it, more than a change, I suppose. But yes, all's good. It just let me get something on here that goes on the other screen so that we don't get the flashing on me. Let's put this up here. So you got a little flash there, and then, right, so there shouldn't be any flashing now because none of that should change. Okay, so yeah, a little bit of a channel and me update. Myself, how am I? Well, as always, it's always, each day is different. Each day is different, you've got to take it as it comes. And I think this is something I've not done myself a favour with in the past, is I've tried to, right, okay, I feel better, or feel better than I did, just go back to normal. And it's just realising, no, just each day takes as it comes. Even when you're at work, sometimes you just have to do it, either do what you can, or, and it's working. Obviously we had a massive setback recently with the Sakura Densha V2, with the paddy field, and that needed completely redoing. I was on the verge of feeling, oh my god, I'm going to scrap the layout. It seemed to be getting onto some of the buildings, it was getting onto just everywhere, and I thought, this is just going to ruin this, isn't it? And it was on the track as well. It got everywhere, that resin stuff. Don't understand what the difference was, because I had done nothing different basically to what I did the first time round when I did on the original Sakura Densha. Baseboard is different construction material. I don't understand if this is sort of seeped across and then up, or but this was purely coming above. Underneath it was bone dry. I managed to check after making the last video. But yeah, so basically that became a field. I put cork down. I managed to tear up what was left. I think I said in the last video. Cork went down. That was drying in the last video, wasn't it? That then got the last of my dark grass, which is my base, and then some of the 2mm WWC Nix grass over the top. And today a peach orchard has been planted using the cherry blossom trees that came in the big pack of 70. New pack's just arrived, and I've pinched from the originals and replaced it with a normal tree. So we've got a nice field of 9, no, hang on, it's not 9, it's 12 trees, and yeah, it's looking a lot better. I don't think you'd know now, just looking at it, if you didn't know beforehand, there was ever the dip there or anything like that. So that's really coming into its own. The tanks, the first tanks have arrived. Now tanks are trying to keep military away from my train, so I've got tanks. Well, one of the first anime I properly watched, and obviously this tells my story with Majojo Japan, the first anime I properly watched that wasn't Pokemon was Girls and Panzer, because I like tanks. And in the intro for the very first episode, you hear some tanks moving in the distance, and it is quite clearly the sound of a Chieftain Tanks engine, which is one of my favourites. The engine sounds amazing when it's running. So yeah, so as part of that, and they are right on the opposite side of the layout. I wanted away from the Ghibli stuff. Closest thing to them is the Campus, which is about central on the layout, but there's nothing a gap. But they all go. It's the original battle they have against Gloriana. For those who know the series, the first battle they have in the show, which is basically, for those who don't know, synopsis is it's an extra activity at school for these students. They do an enrichment activity called Tankery. I didn't name it. But basically where they use non-lethal rounds to knock out each other's tanks, but it's all real tanks involved. But in the series, in the show, this school hasn't done it for a number of years, and they decide because they need the prize money basically to stay quite literally afloat. The school's an aircraft carrier as well, by the way, because of course it is. It's one of the slightly harder ones to grasp. Anyway, because they're fresh at it and full of enthusiasm for their first battle, the tanks get painted in strange colours in some cases. Now the Panzer IV, the main character's tank is grey, Panzer grey, nothing unusual there really. The symbol on the side is, not German, but it's Panzer grey. And there's a Type 89 Japanese tank, which is also just green, normal armour green. But the Panzer 38T is gold, the M3 Lee is pink, and the Sturmgeschütz assault gun is red, blue, sand colour, Dunkelgelb. It's all sorts of colours. It's got the traditional sort of Far East flags on it for the warriors. The sort of, you got an upright piece and a bit sticks out there, and the flag's sort of rectangular. It's got those on top, and I haven't put those on this yet. I need to paint them first and then make those. But they're going to be painted up in those colours to really show this isn't a military thing. This, and I'll make a little banner. It's good. Basically, it's almost like they're travelling around. I'm sort of saying they're travelling around. They're showing the tanks to people. They get the chance to come and meet them. So that's what that is. So yes. The project I've alluded to a couple of times is underway. It's well underway. In fact, it's coming with me to work when I take Sakura V2 in with me. I'm really enjoying it. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice in the York video, and there weren't actually any videos of the National Railway Museum. I decided the 11th hour not to put the clip in I had, because I did. There was a potential to embarrass a total stranger, but embarrass them potentially, and I didn't think that was fair. And it wouldn't have been the same with the audio muted, so one of them. But yes, had a lovely time there. Not that impressed with Monk's Bar models. They sold my friend a chip. He told them he wanted to go DCC. Sold them, he's interested in the HM7000 route. They sold him a chip, and then told him they hadn't got the power supplies in stock. And I just thought, yeah. The guy really didn't seem to want to be there, I've got to be honest. It's the same guy that served me my Engage stuff last year. I think I mentioned in that video how it was just no word to me. It was just taken out of the box and straight on the track to test it. It's great to see it run, but suppose I'd be someone that didn't want it taken out of the box. Ask first, So yes, I don't know if I will be going back in there or it just leaves bad taste, But I did get one goodie from the NRM, and again, I want to show when the time is right. But there is another layout. It's right here. In fact, if I pull these wires a little bit, can I get this to... Oh yeah, some wire. Which has been named as of today as well, and I've painted that on the name on it. I know it'll be a sign writer, but there it is. Yeah, obviously we will show this on the video. We will show Sakura Denshire V2, you'll see that. You won't see the one above me still. I wanted to get a lot further on before I show anything of that or talk about it really in great depth. The only thing I will talk about is something that has come to mind since Crewe, actually. As some of you know, some of you may not if you're fresh. Saturday I went to the Heritage Centre, and on Sunday it was the Model Railway Show. And some mindset changes have obviously occurred in the intervening time since I last did one of these and all the rest of it. And I really am of a mind now that if I was to be able to start over, go back to 2018, 2019 when I first got SO Yamaguchi. If I had the chance to go back to then, I'd like to have a word with myself, a quiet word with myself, to give myself the mindset that I now have, to instill that earlier. And it's kind of strange because I'm pausing, so I'm trying to work out how to word it because I don't want people to misinterpret what I'm saying. So this is all a bit sort of like when you're talking in military terms, military history terms. What should we pick? Let's pick something. If we pick something, okay, this is a good one. This is a good one because it gets brought up a lot. So, early on in the Second World War, France advances all the way up. Okay, I'll tell you right at the beginning, it went quite far in, and I can't remember exactly how far they got. Whether it was the Rhine or not. I don't think it might not be. It might have just been the border. But anyway, they got quite far. And they stopped, and they were ready for trench warfare to start again, believe it or not. And in the war, if you watch The World at War, which is known for some inaccuracies and everything these days, and I think they're working on a new version of it with less inaccuracies, but it's a pretty good tome still, as films go, video recordings go. And one of the German officers from that era says if they had carried on, Germany wouldn't have had the facilities to stop them. And basically, in theory, if you like, the war could have ended there. Right? That's a what if. You know, if France pushed through, would they have won? Just because this one guy says the defence were in there, would they have won? Market Garden. If it succeeded, if they'd done this, if they'd done that, it's all what ifs. It's not what's happened. That can't be changed now. You can speculate on what might have happened, but you'll never know because it's happened. So on the same basis, things have happened, you know. So yeah, on that basis, I'd go and put the mindset, and I'd actually advise myself against getting SO Yamaguchi, but really pushing myself into, you know, you need to watch Studio Ghibli now. You need to get into watching the animes. You need to go into Japan. And I think this is what I was partly trying to articulate, like last year and earlier this year, maybe, when I said I feel done with this, with the Japanese trains. Is the collection is at a point now where I said it in the other video, where there's not much else I actually must have. There's some bits and pieces. Also, I've got stuff on pre-order, and I will actually look at those in a minute and see if there's any I can trim off, just to say, you know, just see if they let me trim some of them off, because some of them are a bit sort of like frivolous things that I don't really need. I don't really want to have no real knowledge of or anything like that. Now, obviously, we know what it's in favour of. It's one or two things, knowing me. It's either European, or it's British, or it's American, or it's one of three things, isn't it? Now, I'd give myself that advice, so that I still get to enjoy Totoro. I get to enjoy the Ghibli things, all the fantastic trips down to London, learning about the yokai, getting a fantastic book on that. I really enjoy all that. And it's not that I don't like Japanese trains. This is the whole bit about it's happened now, so I am into Japanese trains. But if I could do over, I wouldn't. Because whilst I enjoy it, it's ultimately not for me. And that's really weird to say I like it, but then I don't. It's not that I don't like it, it's just I like them, I can watch videos of them, that interests me. I watch my ones go around, and it's fun. But as current Adventure V2 is the only one that's going to be. Yeah, so basically, say something clicked at Crewe on the Saturday, and it's still clicking now. That's what 2 weeks later. Let's have a look at the calendar here. Yeah, 2 weeks later, and it's still clicking, which is usually a good sign. And this is partly why I want to sit on, because I am doing what is going to take over my life a lot more. But this is why I'm not revealing anything, because I don't want to say, oh, I'm doing this now, and then 2 weeks later it's, oh no, I was just a blip, I'm back on the Japanese stuff heavily. But I am, totally honest, Sakura Adventure is fulfilling my needs with the Japanese layout, which is really good. It's really good because it means it's ticking boxes. It means my expenditure outlay is soon to come to a close, because there isn't much more scenic wise to do on it either. Of course, there'll always be things you can add and change. It's never finished, but you know, it's reaching that point where I can say, as far as I'm concerned, it is finished. But yes, that's what I changed. So there we are. So yeah, but I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the fact that things are the way they are. None of this is going US, but I didn't want people to be misconstruing me. So I might trim down the pre-orders a little bit, if I can, if they let me. But I'm not worried about. No, don't be worried about any of this going. It's not worth it for a start. You'd never get these back, and this gives me this plus the ones I'll keep on the pre-orders will give me a nice selection of stuff to run on here. And you know, well, does it mean I'll stop buying things forever? No, I'll get something else. I mean, there might be something else that comes along. I'll go, that'd be really cool. For example, I'd still like to see Tom Mix come out of the Ekimo. See what that was like. You know, and that's the thing. That's the ones I will try and get. Will be the ones I see, like the Aquaman. As soon as I saw it, that I have to have that in model. When the model that comes out, I've got to get it. And those are the one I want to get. So yeah. It's a little bit of a cryptic one there. So we'll just finish up here, and we'll go over to the layout itself, and I'll show you the orchard. We won't have the trains running at this moment. So they have been running yesterday, they do run. I'll show you the orchard and the tanks. And yes, so all I usually say is thanks for watching, take care, stay safe and be well. I'll see you all in another video. Bye for now. Remember, there's more. So there's the orchard. Even got a little sapling represented. It was just a loft cut that fell off one of the bigger trees, but yeah. So there we are, 3 rows of 4. And if we pan round, there's the unpainted tanks. Even though the M3 is already pink, it's the wrong shade of pink. It's a salmon rather than a. It's quite a shocking pink is the one in the show, but yes. But yes. So I'll put a fence around the field and maybe some extra trees between the orchard and the buildings here. The cat bus is actually stuck down now. So we've got some shrines in as well on there, and there's one in by the tanks. And yeah, here's the trains that we're running. So yeah, things have been going. I'll just put my cancellation request in. Now there is every chance they might destroy my account because they don't like pre-orders being cancelled, but I just said on the basis that things have moved months in which they're going to be released and so on. Yeah, can you do this, please? and the fact they cancelled the crocodile on me just because it's a European address, and I still don't agree with all that. So how that actually happened. So yeah, I'm so saying you've already given the form on the one cancellation and this. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I wasn't sure yet. I said I respectfully ask you this now, so as to avoid any hassle close to their release month. But yes, right. Well, there we go. As I said before, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in another video. Bye for now.